Hey, it's Josh, and welcome to the December update of our Simplify Church portal. Just wanted to show you a few things that we've updated here in the last month, and this update is pretty contribution-centric. So really will show you a lot of ways to make this January a little bit easier on you as a ministry and how to get your contribution statements out. Portal's always been pretty good at managing contributions, but I feel like we've made it even better. So a couple things that have been updated. You may notice as you go into enter deposit, which will show how you, when you give us the information about the donors of that deposit in an offline or online deposit, when you go to the add deposit detail, your contributor list now has a type ahead feature. So if I type in Jim, it'll now forward off to the next Jim in here. So if I go through, it'll kind of give you an idea of being able to get through your list a little bit quicker to scroll down to that person just by starting to type ahead in that field. So if I type in general, it'll scroll down to the general income. So for those of you that have contribution lists that are a bit long and lengthy, that'll help you kind of streamline that. So hopefully that's a cool update for you. Another thing we've done, and you can check in with your account manager on this, is we now have the ability to merge contributors. So if you had maybe a husband and a wife that at some point gave individually, but they want their donation statement to be received joint so they can file their taxes jointly, you can actually merge those two contributors together. And your account manager can work with you on that. The other thing is if somebody was entered incorrectly at some point, and maybe the same donor is in under James and then Jim or something like that, we can now merge those together, and your account manager can do that for you. So the biggest update on this is in regards to the giving report. One thing you'll notice if you click on contributors, we now have this new drop-down menu where, before it went to this page where it's just all your contributor listings, and you had a button up here for your giving reports. We've now moved that button to put it over here because it's a little more robust in what that report can do. So click on giving report. You now have the option. It defaults to current date, current year parameter. But for instance, if you wanted to go back to last year's to produce the report, you could do that and search for all the givers by that time frame. Then it also has a filter here for has email yes or no. And I'll show you why that's important here in a second. You still have the same options for this report that we had before, view PDF or view CSV. And kind of like we've done before, if you viewed PDF, it's just going to produce a big PDF file that you can print and distribute to your donors. But the new feature now is this email all. You'll notice we have a button here and the new buttons here on the contributor name. If that person has a listed email address on their record, then this new icon with the little airplane on it will show. And if you click on this, it'll actually email that individual their report for this date range. So kind of a cool feature that we've added for that. But we've also, for your year-end donor statements to your entire donor base, we've added this email all button. So let me show you what that looks like here for a second. If I click on email all, then it's going to bring you into this contribution reports page. You'll have the subject, which is kind of by default going to send out a contribution report for that person's name as they're listed in your system. It'll do the salutation to the person's name. You could also delete that if you wanted to do something a little more general. So if you wanted to have the person's name, you keep that here. If you wanted to just put, my church donor, which I don't know why you would do that, but it's available in there if you wanted to, and you could just delete this information out of here. Oops. You can actually kind of move that out and just have my church donor. But for our intents here, we're going to go ahead and keep it as it was with the personalized name. But then in this, you can also just now type whatever text you want. You can also copy and paste if you want to write it up in a Word document or something and bring it over to here. But you could say, thank you for your faithful generosity this past year. With your gifts, we were able to do XYZ. And this is where you put all the things you were able to do last year because of the faithful donors to your ministry. Kind of the end result is we want people to realize that my giving equals ministry happening. So I don't know that I would necessarily put that in there, but that's kind of the idea that you want to get out of your report that you're sending here. I do have some template letters and template information you can send out if you want to email me, or I'll put a link in the body of this video. I'll put a link where you could download those reports, or not those reports, download those email letter templates to help your giving. So from there, you can put whatever salutation on that you want with this. Pastor Joe. And then you could do if you just wanted to put a PS down here, your report is attached, something like that. So once you're confident that this is ready to go, hit send. Don't worry, it's not going to send it right away. It's actually going to ask you, are you sure you want to do that? And hit send, and that will send it out to everybody. They should receive the letters in their email within just a few seconds. Let me pause this video, and I'll show you what that's going to look like. Okay, so hopping back in here, I've received the email. It actually took about 30 seconds to get to my inbox. But as you can see here, this is the email I received. The sender is going to be your church's, the organization name as it's set up in the portal. And then you can see everything. Here's the salutation that we had from the donor. Here's the information we typed in. And then you can also see that their donor report is attached to that email that they could then print and prepare to send to give for their tax records. So everything was right there. You can see the organization. I already deleted the email, but you can see that your church, that's kind of where we pulled that information from, was there. So lots of cool things in this update. Happy to be able to provide it to you and hopefully make your donations, your contribution letter process a little bit simpler this year. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to your account manager, or you can email us. We now have a support email address. It's just support@simplifychurch.com. Thanks so much.